Yeah, hi coders. So today we'll discuss about the types of functional interfaces. As we have already covered the what is functional interface, so let's start for the session. So let me share my screen quickly. So here, coders, like we have four types of functional interface mainly. So that is something the predicate, function, supplier, and consumer. So this comes under Java 8. Before Java 8, this is the very favorite questions of the interviewer. Like before Java 8, what was the functional interface? So before Java 8, there was the runnable, comparable, action listener, callable. So for the runnable, the method was run method. For the comparable, the method was compared to. For the action listener, the method was action performed, and for the callable, the method was call. So these are the methods before Java 8. These are the functional interface. If the interviewer will ask you regarding the functional interface before Java 8, then you can say regarding this four functional interface. Okay. Now coming to Java 8, so we have this four functional interface, which is predicate, function, supplier, and consumer. So let's go with one by one. So what is predicate? Predicate is something we use in the stream, means all four of them we use in the stream API. Like for means there is the example of the each functional interface. So predicate mainly we use to test, to have the boolean return type, like whether it will be true or false. So suppose if we want to filter out the even numbers from the number, then we use the predicate function interface. Like this is the symbol of the the predicate interface, public interface predicate, and then this is the method, which is boolean test. Inside that, the parameter. Now for the function, similarly, function is one of the functional interface where we have the two parameters, and there we can get the apply. There is the apply method inside this. Okay, uh, let me write it down. This is something like this. Public. Let me write it down quickly. So this will be something like this. Here it will be public interface function, integer function, and then we have t apply, or we can say r apply t. Okay, like that we define this functional interface. So this is the method, which is the apply method in the function of functional interface. We can use with an lambda of this p value equals to value. So like this, it will be there. Similarly, for the supplier, means function is something while we can transform from one way to another. Like suppose if we want to, there is the numbers, the stream of numbers 1 to 10, and we want to print the table of 2. So every number will be multiplied by 2. So we can do that through function, like 1 into 2, 2 into 2, like that we can create the table of that. So means if we want to do the any transformation, so that time we use functional interface. So it is something intermediate operation, like we can't get the end result from there. We will means basically process the streams, the stream API. So this will be something functional. Okay. Now we have the supplier. So supplier is similar way, like we can define with supplier as public, like this public interface supplier. So here I am passing string, okay, and here I am calling t get tt. So this is something like here we don't need to pass anything in the supplier, okay. So this is something supplier, like the by the default method will be, the abstract method will be get. Here the abstract method will be apply. And similarly, like in the supplier, we don't pass any argument, it will return the value through supplier, okay. Similarly, we have consumer. So consumer is the functional interface where we will only pass the argument. We don't have to return anything for the consumer. So consumer takes the input and supplier will get the return the output. Consumer will not return the output, but supplier will return the output. So this is the main difference between consumer and the supplier interface. Okay. So here like consumer and here I am. Let me just give the annotation for the same. I am just printing this. So this is the default method inside the consumer void except. So supplier is having t get method which will return the output, and the consumer is having accept method which will accept the input. It will not return anything, and this is a function which is having the different parameters, like the return type is different, the data type of the return is different, and the data type for the argument will be different. And inside the function there comes two things: the by function and the unary operator and the binary operator. So unary and binary operator is something where we'll have the same data types in the input as well as the output. But in case of unary operator, there will be uh, only one argument, but in the case of binary operator, there will be two arguments. So this is something unary and binary operator. And also there is one by function. So by function having the two arguments. Similarly, as a function, there will be the by function that having the two arguments, but the return type of that will be different. So I have also written the practical example in the IntelliJ. So let's start. Let me show you that as well. So here, uh, I have created the predicate. So predicate is the functional interface where it is passing the integer as a data type. So here I am writing is even. So we are calculating that whether the number is even or not. So is even. Now I am passing the list of integer in the list array, and now I am just uh, creating a stream num.stream.filter. I am filtering it with is even and collecting it to the list and printing it in the even number as a even number. Similarly, this is something about predicate. So if I will show you, I can let me show you example of predicate is even number. So it will print the even number. Example of predicate 2 and 4. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the even number will be 2 and 4. So similarly, we will get 2 and 4. Similarly, for the case of function, so here list of we have list of strings java hello world. Now in this functional interface, I am just calculating the length of the string. So here you can see there is the method reference. So method reference is nothing but we are means if we have the class and the method of that, so we can directly call, means no need to do string dot length or any other stuffs like creating the instance of that class first, then calling the method. We can directly call that method if that method will be inside that class. So like string is the class, and there we can call the method. So string length is the one of the method of the string. So here it will print the length of the string. Now as we have the words in the list, so we are transforming it to stream, and then map is something a function where it will transform the all the strings to the length. So it will collect in the list and we are printing in the list. So here you can see example of function will be 4 comma 5 comma 5. Example function will be 4 comma 5 comma 5. So here it is calculating the length of the all the strings. Okay. Now similarly we have the supplier. So supplier will something having something which will return the value, will give the output. It will not accept any input. So here you can see I am just adding the supplier as a functional interface and having the string. Now I'm just calling the method, the abstract method, which is string supplier dot get. Then we'll get the result of that and printing it in the result. So we'll get hello world. Example of supplier will be hello world. Okay. Now similarly we have the consumer which will accept the input, not return any output. So for that also I am adding the consumer in functional interface where printing the string. So consumer having the string data type, and it will printing the string. So first of all, like I am adding means I am adding all the list in the array list, adding all the strings in the array list. Then I am printing for each with for each. So for each something is a consumer interface. Like if the interview will ask any, give the example of the consumer functional interface, you can say for each. So similarly, if the consumer, the interview will ask to give the example of the um, function, the supplier in the Stream API. So supplier functional interface. So you can say get or generate. Generate you can say generate is one of them. Okay, generate. It will be like this generate. So it will come from the stream. So you can say like that. Now for the function, the example of the function method, which will be map. You can say map for the stream. So that will be the example of the function. And for the predicate, we have the filter. Okay, like that you can say. So consumer here you can say the consumer is giving the each and every strings in the line by line, like in after one line. So okay, now here you can see string dot for each. I am giving and printing with print string. So here you can see Java hello world. So after examples of fly there is Java hello world. So it is giving as a print ln. Here I am giving as print string system dot out dot print ln. So it will give line by line that string. Okay. Now comes the unary operator. So unary operator will accept one and return the one data types only. So here applies something the abstract method for the functional interface for functional interface. So here you can see I am adding one. So here you can see increment dot apply two. So two plus one will be three. So the data type is here is the integer, and the return data type will also be the integer. So you can see unary example. Unary example is 3. Okay. Now here comes the binary operator. This is something about unary operator, and there comes the binary operator where we are comparing whether the number between the two numbers which is the max one. So here you can see binary operator dot max by a comma b. This is the lambda expression, and here I am comparing if it is one, then it will means if it will be one, then it will check whether it is not equals to, if it will check if a firstly it will check whether is not equals to 1 is equals to 1, means is it positive, or if it is equal, means if it is positive then it will give the result as a, otherwise it will check if it is equal, then it will directly give the result as 0 if it is equal, otherwise it will give -1. So this thing we are mainly doing for comparing whether it will be the max or not. So here you can see from, I'm just adding that op.apply 98 comma 11, so 98 will be the result. So here also you can see that the input data type and the output data type will be same, which is integer. So here you can see binary operator example is 98. Okay. Now similar way, in the functional interface, we have already read there will two types, which is unary operator and binary operator, and by function. So now comes to by function. So by function is having the two arguments, and the return type of argument and the return return type will be not same, so will be different. So here you can see like it will be same as function. So here you can see integer comma integer. So here I am adding as a comma b 2 comma 3 will be 5. So here you can see it will be 5. By function will be 5. So add dot apply, I am just giving one abstract method. So add dot apply 2 comma 3. So 2 plus 3 will be 5. So like that, these are the examples of the functional interface. So please like the video if you really find it will be it is informational, and please comment if you have any doubts, and subscribe my channel to never miss the updates. We'll meet in the next video. Until unless, bye.